Hey guys, welcome to Red 50. Thank you for tuning into another video. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. So in today's video, I've got my 2019 Mustang GT, and we're going to be talking about some of the Ford build quality issues on my 2019 Mustang GT. In this video, we're going to be looking at some of the interior quality issues, some of the exterior quality issues with the panel alignment, paint, and all that stuff, and some of the minor rattles in the interior as well. So I figured if you are in the market for a 2019 Mustang GT or even a 2018 and up Mustangs, this should help you out with what the build quality is for these Mustangs overall. So with that being said, let's dive right into the video. Now, I do want to point out that the Mustangs actually start with like $25,000 if you are getting the Mustang EcoBoost. So there are but there are just going to be some cost cutting and just some build quality issues naturally. But Ford has been making cars for so long, so I figured they would have it figured out by now, but that is not the case. Now, of course, even with the GT, the base GT is only $35,000. There's not many cars that you can get aside from the Camaros and Challengers with 460 horsepower stock that is rear-wheel drive and is absolutely fun to drive. Because if you were to look at some of the German competitors like the M3s and C63 that provide similar level of performance, maybe slightly better, they're going for like $70,000, $80,000. So you can kind of see when you're getting similar performance for half the price. Of course, there's going to be some cost cutting, so you just have to kind of live with it. Now, before I get this video started, I just want to point out that these are very minor, at least in my eyes. They don't bother me as much on a daily basis, but I just figured I would make this video to kind of highlight some of the, because I know some people can be very picky, especially if you're buying a brand new one. You may not want to see all these build quality issues, and you might want to get them addressed with the dealer as they pop up. But for me, they don't really bother me as much. They're very minor given how fun this car is, especially with the Corsa Extremes. I could care less about some of these minor stuff. So let's get started with the video. We're going to start with the exterior side of things. Okay, so first thing has to be the panel gap. For some reason, the deck lid on these Mustangs just doesn't seem to be aligned very well. I've noticed in multiple Mustang models, whether it's the EcoBoost or the GT, you can kind of see it just sticks out. It almost looks like that I got rear-ended. I did notice it when I first got the car. It's actually worse on this side. Look at that. Like, the gap in itself is pretty big, and it just doesn't align. It sticks out much further here. They said they could probably replace the deck lid and repaint it, but I did not want to deal with it because there is a potential issue when they replace this whole part. This might not align, or this might not color match. So I figured I don't need to bother with that. Now, coming up to the front, I've got some of the paint chips here, like this one you can see. It's just unfortunate that Ford uses a very thin paint, which is very easy to chip here. As you can see, there's one over here too, right here. And there's a couple minor ones, like this one here, which in my opinion is kind of annoying because I do try to keep my car pretty cleaned up. It's kind of dirty right now, but it gets like waxed regularly, but still I shouldn't be having these kind of issues. And talking about the panel alignment, you gotta look at the front one too. This is kind of pretty bad. This one, as you can see, does align up pretty well. I wouldn't really have much concern with that. But on the other side, like on the driver's side, look at that. This extends all the way to the front. This ends here, and even then it's not like completely flush. The hood is definitely a little bit lower here than on the other side. Now let's talk about some of the interior issues that I've experienced in my 2019 Mustang GT related to the build quality. The most recent one that just started happening a few months back is actually the seat, which I'll probably try to find a fix, or maybe just take it to the dealer because it's pretty annoying. Like if I turn on the car, you heard that? It makes this weird noise, and that's only... Here, we'll try it again. Turn it off. That is pretty annoying. That should not be happening on your brand new 2019 Mustang GT. And I've tried fiddling with all these settings to kind of maybe have it at a setting where it doesn't do it, but I've had no luck. I've tried to raise the seat, fix my adjustment from here. For some reason it keeps happening, and very few times it won't happen, so I'm like, okay, maybe it's not happening anymore, but then it would start again and it'll kind of annoy me. For this one, I probably will take it to the dealership if I can't figure it out by myself, because if this kind of continues, it's going to start to annoy me a lot more. What I'll probably do is we'll use the WD-40 and kind of spray it there, see if that helps, because the thing is, like, the seat alignment isn't different. Like, I think it's just rubbing too close to the center console, but when I looked at the passenger side, it's almost the same difference. It's not like, you know, for some reason the driver's seat just got pushed a little bit to the right and hitting to the center console. That's not true. So I mean, hopefully that gets resolved. But while we're still on the interior side of things, let's talk about some of the panels, especially the back one, which I noticed recently. Look at that. I don't know if you can really tell, but this is very flimsy. And if I wanted to really yank it out, I probably can. I guess the back seats don't really get used, so it doesn't matter. But this is something I recently discovered. Next up, which is slightly concerning, but hopefully it doesn't happen anything to it, is the sprinkler grill. This one will shake. Here, let me see. Here. I don't know if you can really tell from the video, but it will just move. It doesn't move while you're going over bumps or anything, but I can tell the grill itself is pretty loose compared to the grill over there, which doesn't really move. But surprisingly, that is all for the interior. There's not many things, or there's not really anything wrong with the interior side of things. It's just the sprinkler grill, the seat definitely, which is pretty annoying, and some of the panels, especially in the back seat, a little bit loose, but not a biggie. There's just surprisingly no interior rattles so far in my 2019 Mustang GT. So Ford did a great job on that. I know a lot of people complain about interior rattling or just making squeaking sounds over time in their 2019 or S550 Mustangs. I haven't had to experience that, so I'm, I guess, grateful for that, and hopefully it doesn't develop any interior issues after that. I did previously own a 2006 Mustang GT, and I honestly don't recall any of the interior issues there, even though at that time Ford was notorious for terrible build quality. But maybe because I bought it used, I wasn't as picky or really trying to poke at things and just find out. But here, since I bought it brand new, I'm just a little bit more attuned to it, and I'm able to detect all of these, unfortunately. But like I said, they don't really bother me. It doesn't really take away from the fun of driving this 5-liter V8 with the 460 horsepower. Overall, I think Ford did an amazing job with this S550 platform. Yes, there are some build quality issues which are very minor, but given what you get for the price point of this car, even the GT or even the EcoBoost, really, it's amazing what you can get for these price points. Like the Shelby GT500 starts at $70,000, which is comparable to M3 or M4 or whatever you want to call it. And in terms of horsepower and performance, the GT500 would absolutely kill it. Yes, the interior is not going to be as nice as the M4, but that's what you got. You have to compromise somewhere. If they started going like very fancy with the interior and having a very tight body panels and just everything working well, this would be a car that would be $50,000, $60,000 car, just a GT, and that kind of throws it out of range for most people in terms of affordability. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on the build quality on my 2019 Mustang GT or S550 Mustangs in general. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button and comment below what your build quality has been like if you do own an S550 Mustang, or matter of fact, any Mustang. And subscribe to Red 50 for more content.